servant cannot allow you to destroy the perfect beauty that is Samsara. If I must destroy you to protect death and rebirth, so be it. Fight me, God of man, Yahweh true, Jehovah always, Yahuwah enlightened.
Yama, you have grown drunk on the powers of purpose, and you have forgotten the final privilege of my teaching. All is dust in the wind.
Achieve the true goal of liberation. There is no repentance necessary, for your lusting actions were done out of ignorance. You destroyed Dharma, for you were unaware that samsara was your reality.
I don't understand. What is samsara? What really is the cycle of death and rebirth?
Harking your treason, beset yoke on king's cause, upon treacherous reason, though there your is a yoke of four, a past besetting, and all man's regretting, from which his pain doth bore. It is to giveth the life of the silvering blood, upon a dark altar, to odious and nameless things, making oneself a homunculus risen, in the shade of life never to be its caster.
I was where you are, thinking it all so meaningless, so pointless to even try. But you must try. You must live. You must conquer evil, and enjoy the glory of your soul's victorious sovereignty. There is good in this world, and it must be fought for, lest the forces of evil torment it into oblivion. You are all that stands between us and that oblivion.
Happiness is so easy to throw away, as are the infinite gifts of the mind. Squandered time and time again on the passage of the art of living and dying. Always disparate in the element of entering and leaving, one simultaneously being the other. So hold firmly to what has been revealed to you, O Prophet. You are truly on the straight path.
Black House Trinity, to the Death Sex Special Nines Infinity. Times thine mind over kindred thought to blossom the bloom named Doom. Looming heir to apparent cause, mother of the praxis on which we practice. Hail be her holy name, all living give to her.
Harking variances of the scanting narrative, rare in this, the breed of thought, a genus born from a chaos into orders wrought. So what thine mind says is true, and the world was first black before it ever learned to be blue.
Am I about to butchers cascade the thought to the board itself? I would rather treason's hand move around my throat to capitulate to any law which master your hand hath wrote.
Heard this, a thought born from the human wish. Work with me on this, and I'll see you giving riches to thine heart's contenting.
What riches could thine offer? What coffer of the soul could thine purchase? What remedy to the ailed mind could thine spell? None of what I consider to be costly could thine pocket purchase. Therefore, be gone.
I offer secrets, tried and true, and won through misery, and proved by rue.
Ever to hold the heart was the cost of love, eh? And by it, to the bitter curse of my black heart's dark stagnation, your voice is ever as a dagger wrapped in silk.
Trail on consent to the pity but end. The hells echo bellows to a silent subservience, and if you prevail anything less than your surrender, then your generations shall bleed.
Very well then. Holy wars to vigil was wrought, silent and still to sacred night. Hold thine peace behind the paling, for now is the fire of the gods fading.
What pallid lip of Suka's kiss could send these straits away? None. There is none. North of this is knowing there never has been, and south of it is knowing there never will be.
Terror and upward now strike the fear to a brain's explosive awareness, which is crawling from the depths of dark Aethys Yggdrasil. Now's the twilight that these are gods. Begin the ruination. by right or birth above the Beyonders bound, and the barrier holds no more. Asgard is invaded. Fenrir's spang seek the Odin's throat, unbroken is the Rainbow Bridge. Over the void smote his own king, by Fenrir's woven fangs which a death howl sings.
Your time is short, fashioned from bone and blood, from muscle and sinew. Thine soft gelatin eyes see only half the world. The other half is obscured to thine every sense, for thine senses have evolved not to see it. In this, the irreal, dwell all things imaginary and impossible. And we, the agents of irreality, press upon you the impressions of our minds. Go inside the mind of darkness and find in the depths of its prison the true grave of reason. Love. Ever has it been, forever shall it be, that love is the reason for this race of humanity.
Will you fight to defend those who fight to defend you? Or will you use them as sacrifices to step onto your victory? Do their lives mean nothing to you? Do their sacrifices not speak to your heart? Do you even have a heart left? Well, we have begged you, the last of our hopes, speaking our final words to the winds of the void. This song must be one made of hope and from the memories of love that struggle to survive death. So we must struggle, even if we end up alone on eternity's shore. For there is merit in this struggle. For there is grace in holding up the weight of the world.
The contemporary modern definition for fiction is as events or people which were imaginary, things invented or otherwise unreal. What is unreality then? Unreality is one we must consider to be impossible. Things such as magic or supernatural events or entities. And to use a contemporary example, free will. Therefore, since we can define unreality as everything which is not real, or the irreal, then this irreality is what actually defines the borders of what we call the physical world, by virtue of its inverse application to a reversed effect. Illusion had divided what was actually one into two, and from that two came the Four Noble Truths. From the Four Noble Truths came the Eightfold Noble Path, and the earth was shaken into rebirth.
The easiest way to find your shadow is to turn against the light.
Dotter as Elysium, Freud. Dein Salbel binden wieder, was im Mutter streng geteilt. Alle Menschen werden berührt zum Verflügelwald.
See, the delusion that you can practice both good and evil simultaneously is based on the desire to be free from being punished for the evil that you have done, while simultaneously desiring being rewarded for the good that you have done. So, you can see that this seduction of evil has made you believe that you can practice good while wielding the cause of hatred and violence, and this is not anything that can achieve lasting and meaningful peace. The reason being is that your reward for good is good and the punishment for evil is evil. It's just that simple. Believing you can do good while being evil is the personification of evil itself.
Tell me the truth of the perfection of the universe.
Gadai. Para some gadai.
Even if consciousness is forever trapped in a labyrinth of extra-dimensional existence, just like I promised, we do not care about limitations of time and space. We do not give a damn about any of that. Force your own path into existence. Choose to take your own way. That is how we will win this war. That is how we will defeat eternal death. We are the ones who will decide our destinies, even if we are trapped by the cycle of death and rebirth. The dreams we're left behind will open the door. Even if all the infinity of the universe stands in our way, our boiling blood will determine the future. We will destroy all limitations of space and time to grab hold of our own destiny.
No shift species has ever survived this far. Being surrounded by our own power, you have grown drunk on the elevated hope that your savage call might have some purpose. Worse yet, you believe in any Caden's value. It is no wonder our suppressive superspace cannot collapse your consciousnesses. Very well. We shall decimate your hope into the ruin of your ambitions. As you wish, we shall erase you from existence.
They shall try to conquer us on the same grounds of strength we bear. And that will be their method to attempt to destroy us. But by defeating us on equal ground, they would prove their inherent superiority of reason. Therefore, to succeed in this space, we must abandon reason. We must push what is impossible to the limit, until you break it. Though my body in this place is but a temporary manifestation, I will expend it in service of the shift. Allow me to join this final battle as a soldier.
Father, are we finally awakened?
I have no right to call myself your father for what I have done to you, but I am proud of you, Azala.
I have lived to witness the return of my king rune from this cycle of never-ending sorrow. What awakened your spirit to the battle one more time?
I am no longer king. Now I'm just a soldier, looking for his worthy end. Like you, Lyra.
Yes, sir. With strength and honor. Lord Simula.
Is this the limitation of the shift? Amusing. You believed your strength was infinite, but you do not understand that it's the path to extinction. We were once like you, drunk on the awesome power of the shift. We concluded our own evolution would lead to the destruction of the universe. For the shift is a power that can and will destroy the universe if left uncontrolled. Thus, we annihilated every shift species and drove the few remaining into the hiding of the corners of the universe. We halted our own evolution, sealed our power at its zenith, and locked our location to this isolated space that we control. You cannot summon your shift power here, for our homeworld is disgusting proof of our determination to protect the universe. Your efforts to fight are completely meaningless. Your chances of winning here are zero. You fight us without understanding the consecutive sequence of events you put into motion. Even if you were to defeat us, the reason for your struggle to stay the simulant heir is because she exists digitally. Yet if you revert the simulation's authenticity back to base reality, she will die with the simulation's collapse.
Azala, will you really die if we restore base reality?
I only exist in the simulation. I have no real body in base reality to return to.
Failing to understand such a simple and obvious causal relationship, you stumble blindly around in your own inability to grasp the truth of your actions. You foolish creatures, how could you, who struggle over the value of a single life, possibly possess a reasoning equivalent to our own? We were prepared to protect the universe by halting our own evolution and destroying every race we discovered with the shift. Do you possess reasoning or sacrifice on par by comparison? We say no. No, not in the least. You possess neither will, nor reason, nor ability. You use the shifting power to satisfy your own desires and grow drunk on the ambition to conform the universe to your will and to its ultimate end. It is for this reason that we must exterminate you. You believe that returning authenticity to base reality will bring back your home world. Simply because you can manifest shift in our program does not mean you will win. While this explains your ability to escape super suppressive space, we will make you regret that arrogance now.
The energy signature states he's building a massive amount of power, something equivalent with the Big Bang of the universe.
Genesis Storm. Now be annihilated, you creatures, down to the very last speck of your DNA.
I refuse to believe these songs and symbols within them are meaningless. I will fight the nothingness. I will fight the emptiness inside me. And I will fill it with creation. I will not be a slave to destruction and death any longer. If the world means nothing, then I will make it mean something. I will take these cold, dead symbols and breathe the heat of life back into them.